So welcome back to a very special episode. The episode is called My Mind is Blown because my mind is blown. Honestly, this is an unbelievable thing that has happened that I can't get over, and I want to share this story today and let you listen to something and show you something in a little bit. But before we begin, we have to go back to the beginning to set up this story, because it's one of those big stories. And I've done another couple of my mind blown stories before that are equally unbelievable, but this is equal to those 100%. But we have to go back to the past. So please just indulge me with this story because it's really something else. And to begin with, we had to start in 1989. I got my Sega Genesis for Christmas. It was unbelievable. My mind was blown then. I was like, hey, I got a Sega Genesis. This is amazing. And I really enjoyed it playing that Christmas. And I had Last Battle. And my friend Andrew came over and I played Space Harrier 2. It was an amazing Christmas. I loved it. And then New Year's came and it became the year 1990. Yes. And it was going to be my birthday. I was 14 years old, but it was going to be January when I would turn 15. And so January came, it was my birthday, I just turned 15. My parents are like, hey, do you want to go down to the States? And you can pick up a couple of games for your Genesis. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. That sounds like the best idea I've ever heard. So we went across the border, and I think we went to Fred Meyer, and I went into the video game section of it, and I was just looking up at all the boxes, and I'm like, what am I going to get? And I saw a couple of games, and one of them was Alex Kidd, but we won't talk about that. But what we will talk about is this game here. Revenge of Shinobi was sitting up there, and I was like, yes, I love Shinobi, the arcade game. I love that game so much, and I'm like, let's go for it. Let's take a wild stab in the dark and just go for it, because I didn't know what this was like. I hadn't seen any reviews. There was no reviews to watch. There was video game magazines back then, but I was like, yeah, I'll take a chance. I brought this home, and it instantly became one of my favorite Genesis games of all time, and I've talked about that, made episodes about it. And the one thing that I want to say, this is leading into the story, this is very important. This was the very, very first time I had played a video game, and I saw that it had the music composer on there, the Japanese music composer, and the name was Yuzo Koshiro. And I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? And I thought, because I was always in the menu system, which you can do in this game, and listen to all of the music in the game. And I would be in there all the time listening to, track after track. I loved the Revenge of Shinobi soundtrack so very much. One of my favorite songs is Over the Bay. And I would listen to that on loop all of the time. And we'll get into some of that tape stuff in a little bit here. And so I fell in love with Revenge of Shinobi, and I found out about some guy called Yuzo Koshiro. I'm like, interesting. And then in 1991 in North America over here, another game was released, but I didn't have it. My friend Andrew down the street had it, and I went over to visit him, and that game was Streets of Rage. And a true classic was born. Obviously we liked, side view beat 'em ups back then, and this was Sega's answer to that, and it was amazing. The graphics, the moves you could do, and the soundtrack. The soundtrack blew me away, and once again, I found out that the game was composed by Yuzo Koshiro. And I'm like, hey, this guy's onto something here, I think. This guy's music I really, really love. And then I go through the entire journey of playing all of the games back then, and so many soundtracks that he was a part of, like Streets of Rage 2, obviously Streets of Rage 3, the amazing ActRaiser soundtrack, which I adore, which came out on Super Nintendo. It was like one of the launch games for Super Nintendo. I couldn't believe that soundtrack. Again, I've listened to this music over the years so much. And then, years later, he did the Shenmue soundtrack. He did compositions for Shenmue, I should say. And he also did music for Ys Books 1 and 2 back in the day. One of my favorite soundtracks of all time. So, you might say I kind of fell in love with this guy's music. And what I would do back then, and I found the tape some years ago, I would tape from my video game machines to a tape, a mixtape. This is what we had in the 90s, folks, mixtapes. And I would do mixtapes of all of his music. And I learned that Streets of Rage was bare knuckle in Japan. And so I would do entire tapes of his music. And I'd go driving or wherever I'd be going, and I'd listen to this music. I just want to say that Yuzo Koshiro's music has been a huge part of my life. Not a little part, a huge part of my life. I picked up all of the soundtracks on vinyl over the years, everything that I could ever get. I got a lot more, but I just want to bring out some of these to show, because his music really had an effect on my formative youth up to now. I still love all of his music he does for all the games that he works on, and that's been quite a few games. I couldn't even list all of the games. He's a legend in Japan, and that leads us to this very moment right here. So back in the day, maybe about 5-6 years ago, I was on Twitter, known as X, and I saw that somebody followed me, and I was like, well, that's strange. That looks like Yuzo Koshiro. Well, obviously it can't be him. And he was following me, and I was like, what is happening? This is the strangest thing ever, the most amazing thing ever. And we had a little chat, and he said that he liked the show. And I'm like, what? You watched my show? How is this even possible? And so over the years, we've written to each other back and forth, and I've, definitely complimented him on all of his music, and I definitely, every time I show one of his soundtracks on the show, I always send him a link to it and say, hey, look, I mentioned your soundtrack here, and I think he's always appreciated that. So, anyways, behind the scenes, I decided to ask him something absolutely crazy, and something that was wild, and I said, hey, Yuzo, would it be possible? Could I ask you to do a song for me, like a Happy Console Gamer theme song? And he's like, yeah, I'm really busy. It sounds cool. I'd love to do that. And he's been working on a lot of stuff, like Eartheon soundtrack, all of that stuff. And that's been an amazing thing into itself. And so finally there was an opening, and he said, yeah, I can work on the song. And I'm like, oh my God, finally. I think we were talking about it for over 6, 7, 8 months. And he sent me an initial song, and it was really good, and we kind of went back and forth on it, and then I kind of sent him some examples, kind of what I was kind of really looking for. I just want to say, I'm gonna let you see the clip of what happened when he sent me the song, and when I initially played it for the first time. I'll let that play right now. Okay, so this is very early in the morning for me, and I got my little speaker here, and Yuzo has sent me the version of the song. So we've kind of gone back and forth on a few things, but I'm really, I don't know what to think. I'm super excited and super, yeah, it's crazy. And we're gonna press play. This is a moment. This is a moment. that is like, I honestly, again, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I mean, I just thinking back to John in like 1990, listening to Revenge of Shinobi. And here we are with John in 2025, listening to the Happy Console Gamer theme song by Yuzo Koshiro. If I was a little bit tired this morning, you might say I'm wide awake now. What a moment. What a moment. I mean, that's incredible. The song is perfect. The song is perfect. Because we went back and forth a little bit. And the first song, which he used the entire theme song for, was very, very happy. And I liked it. But I was just like, oh, like, who can we do a little bit more intense? And I gave him an example. I said, oh, yeah, no problem. And he combined both of them in such a way that I can't believe it. It's brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, it took 17 years to get a theme song for the show that's so appropriate, and I just feel so blessed. So this is for you, Yuzo. You just gave me something. I just want to say thank you so much. I mean, it's a dream come true. It's a dream come true from a real fan of yours for so long, and just a video game fan in general. And to have a theme song to my show created by you is an honor that I can't even wrap my head around. And I think it'll take a long time for me to wrap my head around it. But the song is brilliant. It's fantastic. It's got that happy energy, but intense energy as well. And totally nailed it. And I'm just, wow. What do you guys think of that one? That's amazing. This is so amazing. What a way to start my day. I got a bit of sun coming through the games room. And yeah, to start my day that way is just truly awe-inspiring. I'm just totally blown away. So again, I just want to say thank you, Yuzo Koshiro, for doing me such a great favor and doing me such a great song. And yes, unbelievable. What a moment that I got a song by Yuzo Koshiro, a Happy Console Gamer theme song. I've been doing this show for 17 years, and I've been blessed with one of the greatest things ever. I just want to say, behind the scenes, I did pay Yuzo for this. It's not like something he's just doing for everybody, and don't everybody write to him and say, hey, can you make me a theme song? It's not quite like that. He did me a favor, and yeah, I did pay for the song because his time is definitely worth something, and he's a legend, and he definitely deserves that. And boy, did he deliver. He delivered so much that my mind is blown. I'm sitting in disbelief right now. I just can't believe that John in 1990 went into a store and bought Revenge of Shinobi, finds out about this guy Yuzo Koshiro, and here we are in 2025. Yuzo Koshiro has written the theme song for my show. I couldn't have even believed back in 1990 that I would have a show about video games. I was just playing video games. I was just living my life. I didn't think anything like that could happen. I didn't ever think that in the future I would ever have a show where I would talk about video games. You didn't even think that you could have a show back then. You'd have to be on cable TV. And I wasn't any presenter. I wasn't anybody any good at anything like that. And here we are. Here we are in 2025. And I just want to say something to everybody watching. And I really mean this, and I'm not going to get choked up. But dream big in your life. And don't be afraid to dream, because you'll be amazed at what can happen. And don't hold yourself back. You know, if you feel like you want to do something with your life, do it. And don't listen to any naysayers or anything like that. Any negative people around your life or outside of your life or wherever they may be. Cast them out. And do something positive. And put positive energy in the universe, and it'll come back to you. I'm a big believer in that. And I'm a big believer that's why this moment has happened today. And I'm just beside myself with what has turned out. And a beautiful moment for sure. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. And yeah, I think I'll say anyways, guys, till next time. And we'll play the whole song here at the very end. So anyways, guys, until next time.